Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Alsager at Christ Church. Really old church. Very sort of magnificent entrance to it. And we're looking at the graveyard, and you can never get into this church. It's a very popular church, but never open, only on Sunday. We have this old urn here. That must be fairly old. And typically we have the old flat stone graves, which are mostly sort of unreadable. You can make that one out, 1844, 1845. It does go back to the 1700s. See, they're all a bit worse for wear. Again, these great big pillars to the entrance. The actual church has got a strange shape to it. I'm going to read the date on this one, 1835. (1858). 82-year-old there, 1897. So they're a lot that old, you can't read the details, but then you get a quality one, so you can sort of I'm trying to read this one, John and Lisa Hofstein, (1830), aged 3 hours. So again, we find the 1800s when there's a lot of children dying. And for once, it is a well-kept graveyard, as you can see. You can actually walk around without breaking your neck. (1880). These you can barely read. And look at the actual building. It sort of comes round, and you've got this sort of dome at the end. You can have a quick spin of the graveyard and see some of the graves there have seen better days. Well, it is really well kept, considering. Two big ones there, 1858. Try and do one section at a time, see what's. Again, that must have been a posh one in its day, but the trees there aren't. (1894). And don't forget, as usual, if you go on Google Maps and search for Christ Church Alsager in the UK, I've got hundreds of photos on there. So we're now up to over 128 million people seeing my pictures on Google Maps. And it's just that time of year when snowdrops come up. We've got a war grave. A.T. Davis, Royal Flying Corps, 21-year-old. And it does have a sports field next to it. That's 1934. It's interesting to see the difference as the years go by. You've got a new stonemason and the design of stones changes. These are 1928, 1915. (1873). That's a lovely sort of smooth, almost marbly gravestone, and we do sneak in a few new graves, or newish. One there with the cross obviously fell off. And we have got this stage where all these here are quite sort of ornate. We've got just a lot of angels suddenly appeared. This is 1907. And all the angels always seem to lose their arms. 1949, another angel. 1966. That's a bit of a strange one, that, because the angel's looking down normally means it's been a tragic death, because the angels come to get the spirit. Yet another angel. (1844). If we go down this middle section, somebody's obviously tidied this one up. 1904. Another one that's tidied, so somebody's obviously going around tidying these graves, because that one's all tidied up. And it's got a bottle of beer with it for some reason. We've got one here and one behind with an urn, which is, you see a lot of those as the spirit leaves the urn. And that's from 1915. Here, all these graves, somebody's obviously getting rid of all the weeds. 1891. There's a fair old grave here. That's a fair old bit of stone on that. And there's little holes in the writing. 28th, 1928, is it? You can see all the little holes for some reason. That's a fair old whack. Another one with a vessel on the top. a fair old tree behind. Yeah, even more here been tidied up, so obviously somebody has taken a great pride in the cemetery for once. So many cemeteries in such a state, and it makes a change to find one that's decent. A bit of a strange one there. Whether some of that's been knocked off or not. There's some on this path as well. Well, that's a new one and they couldn't afford anything, or not yet. Again, we've got more snowdrops coming up. That's another one. Well, that's a unique one. Beloved wife of Henry Whitfield of Alsager in 1905. That's very clear. And more in this top section that are quite stately. 1923, the old urn again. You see the field next to it. They're all quite big ones. See the church, hear the church bells ringing. That's quite a statement piece, isn't it? 1903, so it's quite late, that one. And 1906. It's a fair old grave. (1902), another urn. Looks as though that one fell off the cross. Another angel there. (1933, 1946), so that's a fair old statement piece again. And yeah, I've got the new graves over there. Just have a look at the angel. (1933) and 1929. It's quite unusual, that, because it's dirty arms, but the rest of it's really pristine, which is unusual considering how old it is. So there must be some quality in that. What else have we got? Strange, isn't it, how close these are? And then you get a place where there's sort of big spaces. It's 1858. You've got something where the stonemason liked his crosses, because all these have got crosses on them. Whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 15, all with the typical cross, and all sort of seem to be poor quality because they've all broke. A whole section of them. I'm surprised that one's gone over, because that's a fair old piece of stone, that. I see that there are all these crosses and they're all falling over. And must be something high sage, just judging by the grave and the fact that there's rather ornate metal around it. 1827, 1887, 1899, 70-year-old. I mean, even the chain's posh. That looks as though it could be a family grave, because there's a lot of names on that. They've tidied all these graves. They might have spoilt it, because you usually got so many flowers out, and they might have got rid of half the flowers. I'll give them 10 out of 10 for tidying it up. You can walk around without breaking your neck. Again, we've got the crosses, a lot of. That's a fair old chunk of stone, 1896. Again, this whole section crosses. These are always the best, because they seem to last forever if you've got a big flat stone like that. Another angel, 1922. You see that compared with the other one, how dirty this one is. Yet the other one's a similar sort of age, or older, and beautifully white. Again, this whole section of crosses, 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 crosses. And probably the local undertaker, that was the main thing at that particular period in time. I've got a few dafts just starting to come up. And a lot of these graves have all fell over. All a similar design, and have all collapsed. Whole section of the same basic design. That one stood the test of time because it's a big piece of stone there. I've got a war grave over here. Marine, 1945. Now it looks a bit strange because you can have a war grave that's actually a war hero without a war grave, but this looks as though there's been his grave and then it's collapsed and they've put the war grave there. Well, we will have a look at the new graves. We don't usually specifically highlight a grave on the new graves because presumably it's family's still looking after it. We do see some that do stand out. It's a lovely new graveyard with surrounded by these trees. It's again not quite as good as Ardlam, but you can nearly play bowls on the ground. Just looking at one, there's one there that sort of stands out a bit. Cyril, Muriel and John Petty. Nice one there with ducks and dogs on. I mean, Alsager's only a small, I don't even think you call it a town really. That's quite an interesting, well, two there, very similar type of stone. I don't quite know who this was, but it's got a guitar on the back. One there, obviously a cricketer. It's just so strange how we've gone from these big ornate massive angels down to these little, I mean virtually every one's the same, all that's different is the lettering, isn't it? In the old days they really made a statement, didn't they, with a big angel and big grave. So it's all nice for these trees, and there's a football field next door, or rugby or something, you can hear them. All these trees really give a nice backdrop. And just have a swing around from a bit high up so you can sort of get a feel of the whole area. Just to give you an idea. Well, there is this path down the middle, and we've done most of this side. There's another fair old one here, 1922, 1971. So we've got fairly modern ones there. And by the church, obviously the closer you got to the church, the more holy you were. Some fair old graves here. Another nice flat one. They just last forever, those do. (1865). There's another high quality one, 1919. These crosses just don't seem to stand up. So they've got a small base and very heavy top, haven't they? So they're not the best actual design. 1918, and this is probably quite a high status area because they're all sort of, I mean, that one, another cross that's gone over, but that one you can't read, but because of the metal around it, etc., that must be fairly high status, or it was in the day. 1881. Can't quite see what's on the top, but it's covered in moss. Again, we have more on the ground. 1810. There's another fair old whack. I mean, some of these, it's 1904, they're 87 years old, so some of them did live a good long time. There's two over there, one there. They've obviously seen better days. The whole thing's collapsing. Age 16. Again, another cross that's gone. If you're going to get a grave, don't get a big cross on the top because it's going to fall over. 1879. And that one's got a Celtic cross. It's a bit interesting, that, isn't it? Because that one, you can't make the letter out, but that one is the same design, so I can't see whether that's a family grave, but that one has fallen off. You can see how little the base is on that to hold such a bloody great stone. Again, everywhere you look, crosses fell over, crosses fell over. Another fair old grave. More crosses fell over. Whole section again of crosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them fell over. This is one of the most impressive graves in the graveyard. I presume he was a naval person, judging by the big anchor. 1858, 1865, so it looks like a family grave. 1895. Can't quite read that, so a memorial of Captain 5th North Staff Joel and Harriet Caroline Settle, the Hill Alsager, born January 20, 1895, died a prisoner of war in Germany. There's more around the other side, but there certainly is a statement piece, that one. Again, there's crosses. Just a view of the church itself. So then we do have this sort of mixed section where it's modern graves and old graves and all sort of mixed into one. Well, they can sort of reuse a grave after so many years, depending on what your lease is. Nice little fairly modern one there. A little tiny angel on the top. (1962), little small one. And just a little bit early for all the crocus coming up. A lot of snowdrops up, but it's only a few crocuses. And of course this becomes the modern way where it's presumably cremated and all you've got is just a little tiny plaque. Well, that's quite nice. Presumably it's somebody's putting flowers on it and looking after it. It's quite grand, that is, for a very small one. Can't quite read it. 1982. Remember, this is a garden of remembrance. Just a shame the church is never open. Obviously it's open on a Sunday, but years ago churches were open 24/7 and nobody would go in and nick out, but it's not the way today, that people do break in and do damage. When you can't see anything inside is actually worth very much. Another war grave there, and that one's sort of, the top stands out. Arthur James Ledbetter, who entered the Great Beyond, age 60, 1933. And a couple more of the big ones. Again, you can just see the quality that some, even after hundreds of years, you can read, and others you can't. I mean, that one's quite readable, and that's from 1840, so it's the depth they cut the letter into. Let's have another look at the clock tower. And we've got another urn. We saw the one urn around the other side, didn't we? There's possibly graves here, because there's 1, 2 there, that may 3 there. That's can't see any writing on that one. We'll just go outside so we can see they do actually have a defibrillator on site, which is always a good thing. You see it there, the defibrillator, so if anybody gets a heart attack. That's the main entrance to the church with a little light on it. This originally would have been the where the vicar lived, the vicarage. I think it's now something else. Well, welcome back to the channel. Today we're at St Michael's and All Angels parish of Crewe Green. It's only a small church and a small graveyard, so we'll just have a quick look. Some of the old graves. So it's not particularly very big, this. It's sort of way out in the sticks. 1928. The old snowdrops are doing well though. Plenty of snowdrops. (1902) Stubbs's. Nice little angel. It is very sparse, this. It's 1864. It's quite well made. When is that? 1872. Cross. There's one there, must be fairly high status because it's got the metalwork around it. Sarah Jane, wife of Edwin Aaron, is that? 1860, age 24. It's a bit different. Can't really read the writing very well. They do have a remembrance garden, which is quite interesting. There's not a lot in it, but it's a nice peaceful place under the trees. You can see the church. Again we see crosses falling over. One there 1877. That's a cross, but that stayed up. It's a fair old piece of stone, that is. 1888. That one's totally unreadable. It's a bit different with the hole in the middle. And that's certainly a statement. It's very intricate, 1868, but you can't read anything else. Just looking at the church itself, quite interesting, the artwork there. And you've got these guarding the church. There is a modern graveyard. I'll just take a look at that. It's very peaceful, very minimal. And it has been expanded, so they've got more room here. So it has got another entrance there. It's very minimal altogether. Carry on around a few more old graves here. Some of them well past the sell-by date. They all seem to be 1800s. So you do find this house and there's 1800s, and then things sort of disappear and then they start again at a later date as though everything stopped for tea. 1888. Another one got a bit of a lean on it there. Nice little one. That one's unreadable. That one's had metal on the top and fall off. More crosses. And they do seem to have moles everywhere. Oh God, they haven't half got some moles. The flowers are up nicely. And all these, there's some at the back there, but all these are sort of all modern graves. Again, you've got the rounded end to the church, similar to what we saw in Alsager. View of the church. And I've got an OTT with a spotlight here. War grave, 1945, obviously a seaman. Another war grave over there. That's a bit different. Internal light. War grave. Worcestershire Regiment. Why he ended up here, I don't know. And we do have a few old graves. Complete with moles. Do have some little gravestones over here. (1904, 1976). And really, that's your lot.